Hi guys! Tonight I'm going to read Betsy Ross and the Silver Thimble. Betsy Ross is a very special person. She was the one that designed and sewed our very first American flag. So we're going to learn about her tonight. Little Betsy looked around the dinner table. There were her mother and father, her 6 sisters, her brother George. Her 2 baby sisters were in bed. "We have no more room at this table," she said. "Father is the best builder in town," said George. "He can build a new table." "I will help. I will help too," said Betsy. "You can't make furniture," George said. "You're a girl." That made Betsy mad. "You love to sew, Betsy," said her mother. "Come sew with me." But Betsy wanted to show George. After dinner, Betsy went into her father's workshop. "I can make anything I want," she said, "like a table for my doll." She looked at her father's tools. She saw a big saw hanging on the wall. Betsy was glad George wasn't there. She wanted to build a table all by herself. When she tried to take the saw down, it hit her on the head. "Ow!" cried Betsy, but she wasn't going to let a little bump stop her. Betsy took some wood from the woodpile and tried to cut it. She tugged and pulled on the saw. She sawed for a long time. It was no fun at all. Then, all of a sudden, zing! The saw jumped from the board. It cut Betsy's finger. See? Yeah. "Look, Mother," Betsy cried as she ran into the house. "You could have been hurt very badly," said her mother. "You do not know how to use your father's tools. A saw is not for a little girl." "It's not fair," Betsy cried. "Little girls can't do anything." "Betsy, do you really want to make furniture?" her mother asked. Betsy thought about that old saw. She did not like it one bit. She only wanted to use it because George said she couldn't. "I want to give you something," said her mother. "Hold out your hands and close your eyes." Betsy opened her eyes. There on her finger was a silver thimble. "Oh, Mother," she cried, "it's beautiful." "My mother gave it to me when I was 6 years old, just like you," her mother said. See it on her finger? "Now look at your hands," said her mother. "They are like 2 different people." "What do you mean?" asked Betsy. "Your left hand is you, when you do things just because someone else does them," her mother explained. Betsy looked at her left hand. It had a bandage on one finger, and her finger hurt. "Your right hand is you, when you are being yourself." When Betsy wiggled her right hand, the thimble swung back and forth like a little silver bell. Her mother smiled. People use thimbles when they sew so they don't prick their finger to help push the needle into the fabric. "I am glad to be me," said Betsy. Betsy remembered this lesson her whole life. She was proud to be a girl who was true to herself. See, she loved sewing, so that's what she did best.
She knows how to sew?
Yeah, her mom taught her. Betsy Ross sewed for the rest of her life and won many prizes. Sewing turned out to be very important. And when Betsy Ross grew up, she designed our country's first flag. Wow, I'm glad she kept sewing and did what she loved. She was an important person to our country. And tonight we're reading from Esther chapters 3 through 9. Queen Esther. When King Cyrus ruled in Babylonia, things changed for the Jews. Cyrus said that they were free to go back to Jerusalem, but many liked their home and wanted to stay. However, some people didn't want them there. One man, Haman was his name, did not like the Jews. Haman was a high official in the government of the new king Xerxes, and he had a grudge against Mordecai, a Jew who would not kneel down to him. This made Haman very angry. Haman came up with an evil plan that would get rid of not only Mordecai, but all the Jews in the land. Haman told Xerxes that the Jews did not obey the laws and were a danger to the land. The king believed Haman's lie. He told him to do whatever he wanted with the Jews. Haman sent out letters in the king's name. The letter said that on the 13th day of the 12th month, all Jews in the land could be killed and their money taken. When the king's wife, Queen Esther, heard about the letters, she was very sad. Mordecai was her cousin. Esther was a Jew herself. She had never told the king. Should she tell her husband now and beg him to spare the Jews, or should she stay silent and save her own life? Esther was beautiful. She was also good and brave. She went to the king and said, "If you care for me and are willing to help, you can save my people." She told him what Haman had done. The king loved Esther very much. Without a second thought, he made a new law. Now, on the 13th day of the 12th month, the Jews would be able to defend themselves. As for Haman, the king had him hanged that very day. The Jews survived and had a big celebration. They honored the king and their brave Queen Esther. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July tomorrow. Be safe. Good night.